Hi, I'm Beverly Banor Brown, and this is a remarkable dog who I have the great joy of stewarding. Her name is Sophie Ann Sunshine, and when she was a puppy, she was attacked savagely. She almost died. She required surgery. She had puncture wounds. She has a plate and screws in her right scapula. Why would I bring her on a video on narcissistic relationships when you're not yet ready to forgive? Because when she was attacked for no reason by a much bigger dog who had, it turned out, a history of having been terribly abused as a puppy, I knew by the way that dog acted, the savagery, the lack of provocation, that the dog was not reacting to Sophie, who wasn't even paying any attention to him. She was playing with some adorable children in the neighborhood. He was reacting to a trigger because she was on his family's property, and he honestly, I'm sure, in his mind, his tortured mind, believed that he was protecting them and protecting himself. She was no threat, but he had a perception that she was. So when I make a video, as I just did the other day, on narcissistic relationships, part of the series that I've been doing, transcending revenge fantasies ASAP, as soon as possible, I want to make it really, really crystal clear that I'm not trying to rush anyone into forgiveness or releasing. I'm not trying to push anybody. What I'm trying to do in this particular video is use my beloved dog as an example about what it means to forgive. She forgave in the first moment. Dogs and cats, horses, other animals do that. They want to survive. They want to get on with a feeling of comfort as soon as possible. And while Sophie still does have some residual personality characteristics at times, she hates to be groomed. She hates to have anyone come near her head other than me because she knows she can trust me. She does this thing occasionally with her tongue where she seems to be sort of searching for something in the air. I don't know, maybe she's throwing all of the audience kisses. She's so loving, she probably would do that. The point is that when I watched her recuperate from the rather severe surgeries that she had to have, she showed me, as dogs, all the dogs I've ever had the privilege of being with have taught me, that when they're ready, they do the next thing. She slept for days. We made her a little sort of a cage, private house kind of a thing in the dining area of the house that I was living in at the time. And the first days she slept. She just slept and would get up to go on the wee pads. She barely ate. And at first I worried about that. And then I realized, no, her body doesn't need very much nourishment because she's not moving around very much. Every day she ate a little more. Every day she was a little bit more active. Most days she just wanted me to hold her in my arms because she literally needed someone present 24 hours a day. And so sometimes friends came over and who loved her and were Sophie sitters, we called them. The point is, when she was ready, she started to walk a little bit. She started to walk a little more the next day. And then before I knew it, she was doing the dog stretch. She was willing to sit on the lap of other people who were loving to her, etc., etc. And she harbored no animosity towards anyone. She just wanted to start a new chapter and get on with her life, because that's what dogs do. And that's one of the reasons they teach us so much about life, so much about living. And so I would say to you, if you're feeling like a raw nerve ending, and you're feeling like your emotions are so, what I call catastrophized from this living nightmare you're either in the process of extricating yourself from or you've just left, no, you may not be any more ready to run and jump and play than Sophie was after her surgery. She needed time to heal. You need time to heal. Now, when I say to you, there are videos, there are articles, there are all sorts of documentaries about how to do this, and you can get a really experienced life coach, a relationship coach, who can help you with this. Yes, wonderful. When you're ready, you'll do it. The thing is, a lot of people will try to push you and rush you into it because they hate to see you unhappy. They don't want you to wallow and brood. They are uncomfortable with the intensity of your anger, and they want you to get back to normal ASAP. Life doesn't always work that way, and I want to give you some golden nuggets based on my more than 30 years now working with clients, many of whom have been where you are. And remember, I offer these with enormous respect and acknowledgement that you've been through something, and you may still be going through something that requires you to literally regain your sense of identity, regain your sense of yourself, regain a knowledge and remembrance of your own divine nature. So here's golden nugget number 1. I offer it from my heart with great honoring and reverence of what you've been through. And only you know exactly what you've been through. Nobody can claim to understand at the depth that you do what it was like. Golden nugget number 1. At a time when you can be quiet, at a time when you can reflect, go within. Take a few deep centering breaths. Center yourself in the presence of the divine, which you're always in, and which is always in you. And really let yourself just simply settle down. Let the surface, the bed, the sofa, the chair, the pillow, whatever you're sitting on, hold you up. And just be with yourself. And understand that there's an inner child within you who is reeling, who is confused, who needs your love and your benevolence and your tenderness as the healthy adult reparenting mother-father figure that no mother or father could ever give you, because they were busy living their own lives, trying to survive, trying to make a living, trying to pursue their own interests and dreams. And the one person who's always available to you 24/7 is truly yourself. Golden nugget number 2, talk to that child with the tenderness that you would a little puppy dog or a newborn baby. Give that child, that inner child, who's probably been bereft because there's been loss, because there's been abuse, because there's been toxic, dysfunctional relationship issue stuff coming back, which probably echoes something from when you were a little child, before you knew how to put on a blouse or pick out the right balanced foods to eat, or before you knew how to brush your teeth even, or boil water. That's how far back all of this probably really goes. And remind yourself that the person who caused you feel so much pain, so much sorrow, or who you're still trying to get away from, or who you're still in relationship with and you wish you could find the strength to get away, is a messenger for you to remind you of those times that you need to make conscious so that you can let them go. Next golden nugget, when you understand that you cannot rush the process, you have to allow it to find its own rhythm, its own pace, which is unique to you. That, I believe, will help you to accept yourself just as you are, and know, just as Sophie did when she was recuperating, and just as I've had to do when I have recuperated from various challenges in my life. And we all have had challenges. We're none of us alone in this. Realize that the more you can accept yourself where you are, the more compassion you can give to yourself, the sooner you will be able to close that old chapter or several chapters and either simply put the book on the shelf, or in a metaphysical sense, burn it. And get a new book and write new chapters in the story of your life. So, in conclusion, please don't rush yourself, don't push yourself, don't berate yourself. If people around you who have been in similar situations tell you, oh, you can just let it go, I did. They are them, and they have their own soul's path. You're on your path, and it's unique to you. And the more self-respect you can give yourself for that endeavor, the better off you will be. So I would suggest you feel the feelings, take time every day to really go through them. Remember that emotions are exactly that. Emotions, energy in motion. They are barometers that tell you how you're feeling about your life at that time, and they can change. Like waves rolling in on the shore on the ocean beaches. They shift like the tides. So don't worry that you're going to get stuck in them. Seek professional help. Please don't try to do this alone. If you've been abused, you are an abuse survivor, and the next step eventually is to become a thriver and leave all of that alone. Victim thinking disempowers you. Survivor thinking and feeling and beliefs tend to help you on your forward motion path to get where you want to go. Next golden nugget, take a look at your dreams from when you were a young child. What did you really want to do? What's in your heart to do, be, and have now? Realize there's life, better life, after all of this. There really is. So, I've covered a lot of ground here today. I thank you for watching. I know you're going through a rough time, and that's what it is. It's a rough time. It's not your whole life. Put it in perspective. There will come a day, I truly believe, and I'm holding a prayerful space for you that is the case, when you will look back on this, and you will realize that you are stronger for it. You have learned powerful lessons, and there are incredible blessings to be taken from it. The thing is, when you're going through it, sometimes you need someone with such experience as I possess to be able to say to you, you are going to get through this. You have done hard things before, and you have triumphed. And when you're ready, you'll triumph over this as well. Until next time, if you haven't joined my beautifully growing community, our beautifully growing community through the YouTube channel, Beverly Banoff Brown MS, please, it's free of charge. And if you look at the Radical Gratitude series, if you look at About Vanishing Twin Syndrome, many of the people who have been watching them have discovered that they are, in fact, and members of their families and their mates and some of their children are survivors of Vanishing Twin Syndrome. Important to know that. Helps a lot of things make sense that may never have before. It certainly did in my life when I discovered that I am a Vanishing Twin survivor myself. Inner Peace Now, did I mention that? Mindful parenting, parenting with heart, authentic dating, joyful marriage, holistic wellness, with new ones soon to be, new topics soon to be introduced. And of course, narcissistic relationships, which many of us know way more about than we ever thought we would or ever wanted to. But there's a higher purpose for everything. So hang in there and know I send you love and blessings. Bye for now. And bye from Sophie, too.